Memorizing verses is such a great way to improve your understanding of Sanskrit. Every single thing can be illustrated by verses. And so that's why I try to give verse examples for most of the things that we learn. Let's learn this verse today. Oh, great. So I just got a verse. All right, so we were doing about tat. So just let me go through this one time, and then this is a verse that will be for next week. Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam tadeva shashvat manaso mahotsavam tadeva shokar navashoshanam nranam yaduttama shloka yashonugiyate. So we were talking in the last class about tadeva, right? So tadeva. So this is a nice yat tat verse. So look here. So as the last line has yat. We'll do this again on Monday. Right? So yat. So that's the main thing here is the subjective clause. So it says tad eva. That alone is ramyam, pleasant. Tad eva ruchiram. Navam navam. That gives newer and newer delight. Tadeva. That alone is the great festival of the mind forever. Shashwat, forever. Manasaha, of the mind. Mahotsavam, great festival. It's the great festival of the mind. Manasaha, remember this, Shashti Vibhakti for Manas. Tadeva Shokarnava Shoshanang Nranam. I think it should be a short read. Okay, so Tadeva, that verily, that alone is the shoshanam. So shoshanam, you see here, verbal noun. Shoshanam means drying up. Right? So what does it dry up? The arnava. So arnava is another word for ocean. And shoka arnava. So shoka is grief or suffering. So shoka arnava, the ocean of grief. There you have a Shashti Tatpurusha. Or you could have it as the Karmadhari, right? Shoka eva arnavam. There it was a metaphorical thing that shoka, grief, verily is the ocean. Shoka eva arnavam. But then this one you have shoshanam. So the drying up of the shokarnava. So in that case, it's a Shashti Tatpurusha, right? The shoshanam, the drying up of the shokarnava, of the ocean of grief. So that alone is the choking up of the ocean of grief. Nranam is the Shashti Bahuvachanam of Nri. Nri is the shortest word for man, human being. Nri. So plural, Nrinam. So for human beings, Nranam means here human beings, right? All human beings. So it is the dryer up of the ocean of grief of human beings. And then what is it? So the tat, you have three tats, tadeva, tadeva, tadeva. And then the last one is yat. So that's giving us what the correlative is. So what's the correlative? Yad uttama shloka yashonugiyate. So it's the yashaha. So yashaha is like manas. It's an askaranta. So yashaha is a neuter noun. So therefore yat. So yad yashaha. So kasya yashaha, another Shashti Tatpurusha, right? Uttama shloka. So Uttama shloka yashaha. The yashaha of Uttama shloka. So Uttama shloka is a name for Krishna. And it's a bahuvrihi, right? It's a particular kind of bahuvrihi, Uttama shloka. So one who is glorified, one who has, let's say, beautiful verses written about him. Right? So Uttama Shloka, beautiful verses are written about him. So he's called Uttama Shloka. So Uttama Shloka Yashaha, the fame or the glories of Uttama Shloka, Anugiyate. So when in which the fame of Uttama Shloka is sung. So those three things. So basically it's saying Uttama Shloka Yashonugiyate. Yat Uttama Shloka Yashonugiyate, that fame of Uttama Shloka that is sung, giyate. We're going to get this in the next chapter. This is what I'm talking about. This is the passive voice. It's from gai, sing. So the active would be gayate, but the passive, which we're going to learn in the next chapter, is giyate. So anu giyate is constantly being sung. That anu here has the idea of constantly. Okay? Okay, so what is that? The Uttama Shloka Yashonu Giyate. That is Ramyam, Ruchiram, Navam, Navam, Shashwan Manaso Mahosam. It's a beautiful verse telling you how great Hari Katha is. So these many verses like this in the Bhagavatam, but this one comes right near the very end, right? 12th canto, 12th chapter. There's only 13 chapters in the 12th canto, and it's right at the end of the chapter, 49. So it's right near the very end of the Bhagavatam, the second last chapter, right near the end. Tadeva Ramyam Ruchiram Navam Navam Tadeva Shashvan Manaso Mahotsavam Tadeva Shokarnava Shoshanam Nrinam Yaduttamah Shloka Yasho Nugiyate Tadeva Ramyam Ruchiram Navam Navam Tadeva Shashvan Manaso Mahotsavam Tadeva Shokarnava Shoshanam Nrinam Yaduttamah Shloka Yasho Nugiyate. Right, so we'll do that on Monday. That'll be our next week's verse. Tadeva Ramyam Ruchiram Navam Navam Tadeva Shashvan Manaso Mahotsavam Tadeva Shokarnava Shoshanam Nrinam Yaduttamah Shloka Yasho Nugiyate.